Hey guys, Lucky Star Shi-Roku here, and I am moving, finally. I can't remember if I said this in any previous, excuse me, I'm still dealing with COVID, so you have to put up with that, but excuse me a second. Anyway, I am finally moving. I can't remember if I talked about this in previous videos, but I have been wanting to move for years now. For I think since 2018, I think maybe. But yeah, I've been wanting to move for a long time, and it's finally happening. So I've been wanting to move for a while for a few reasons, but the biggest reason is it's just too noisy here. Um, and it turns out getting a good night's sleep, or having having just in general, um, getting a chance to have a good night's sleep every night is super important to your mental health. So first of all, a little bit of backstory here. When I first moved in here back in 2013, it was a lot more quieter and a lot more peaceful, and I could focus a lot more. But about maybe 11, 12 months ago now, someone moved in next door to me. Now, that wouldn't usually be an issue, so let me give you a little context here. So, that wouldn't usually be a problem, but the walls here are really paper thin, like stupidly thin, and this person is deaf and really loud and hasn't been taught how to control their volume. So um, you can probably imagine how that causes a few problems here and there. So yeah, the walls are paper thin, and yeah, it's just too noisy. It's just too hard to it's too difficult to really concentrate or anything. And to make matters worse, the staff don't seem to be doing anything about it. I have put complaints in numerous times, and nothing has been done. Um, so I can't record. I can't record. I can't concentrate, and I can't even sleep most of the time. Um, so I'm absolutely sick of it, and I am finally moving. But before I go, I wanted to show you a few things that I don't like about this flat. Now, firstly, I want to start by saying that this is a nice flat, and I do really love this flat. But you know, since I have to be here so much to work on my videos, I wanted somewhere I could relax and just be happy while doing it. Um, but at the same time, this is kind of an old building, and if you start looking at it closely enough, yeah, it's a bit of an old building, and if you start looking at it closely enough, you'll start noticing a few things that are a little bit less than ideal. So, let us begin. Let us begin in the bathroom. There's a few things I want to show in here. Oh god, camera's tilting. Hopefully it won't be an issue, but anyway. So there's a few things in the bathroom I want to show you. Um, right, so in the bathroom we have some very poor ventilation, like very bad ventilation. And because of that poor ventilation, basically, so whenever I have a shower, I have to open the window and turn on the extractor fan, which is very loud. And that's whenever I have a shower, and whenever I want to record, I have to turn off the extractor fan because I don't want to risk that being in videos because it is very loud. Unfortunately, unfortunately, how loud it is, this camera cannot do justice. Because I have tried before and it's not very loud at all. So you're just going to have to take my word on it, unfortunately. Now, back on the topic of bad ventilation is, because of that poor ventilation, you might have noticed, if you look very closely, you can see the state of this bathroom is very, very kind of, honestly, is kind of ridiculous. Like, if you look very closely, you can see black mold absolutely everywhere. Like, so along there, a little bit under the window, there's black mold absolutely everywhere. And there's even some along there, there's black mold absolutely everywhere in here. And it's not just the black mold either. If you notice up there, paint is starting to chip away and it's all patchy. I think probably what happened is the decorators in here, I think they used the wrong kind of paint. They used regular paint instead of waterproof paint, which I meant to, so that means whenever I have a shower it just starts peeling off and dropping off randomly, and it starts flaking and it's just really, really messy. And that's every time I have a shower. And I recently dusted up there, and you won't believe how much paint dust came down. In fact, I took a picture of it actually. If I can find it, I'll have Aragorn edit that in somewhere in the video around up here-ish. But it was quite a bit, and it's quite the mess. I have hoovered and swept in here, so there might be a little bit left, but it is mostly gone. But yeah, just the state of this room is absolutely appalling because they used the wrong kind of paint, and it's just very, very shocking that there's this much mold forming. It should not be forming that quickly. I am spraying it down with mold and mildew every so often, but it's, yeah, not great. It's shocking that it's even allowed to be this bad. Okay, so the next thing I want to show is the tap and the bathroom sink. Oh god. So basically, the water is a little bit too hot in the bathroom sink, as I will show here. Oh god. So it might take a little while for it to properly warm up, but water is just way too hot in this place. Like, I mean, I know hot water is meant to be so I know hot water is meant to be hot, but there's hot and then there's scalding. And in a pandemic where you have to wash your hands somewhat regularly, I think water that hot is a bit of a problem because I just end up burning my hand. I just end up burning my hand every single time. Like, let me show you. Come on, stop doing that. It's very difficult to angle it like that. Oh, yep, a little bit too hot there. So yeah, I'm hoping in my next place the water will be a lot more comfortable, so I'll be able to wash my hands comfortably without the risk of burning. At least that's my hope. So the ventilation, the water, there's one last thing I want to show in here, and that last thing is the temperature in the shower. If I turn the shower on full blast, yeah, it's a little bit to be desired, I think. So that's at full blast. But at full blast, that's how fast the water comes out, and it's honestly, it's very, very weak. I think I personally think it's very, very weak, and a lot is to be desired. And yeah, that water pressure at full blast, it's not even like, I mean, it's not even that great at rinsing shampoo at my hair. So that means That means every time I have a shower, I'm having to stand in there longer than I probably should, and even after that, I'm even after that I'm coming out of the shower and I'm combing my hair and I'm finding huge globs of shampoo in the comb. So it's not doing a good job at getting the shampoo out at all. So it's, yeah, I'm wanting something a little more powerful in my next place, which I think I am getting based on what I've seen. Oh god. So that takes care of everything in here. So I think the next thing I want to show, if I recall, is, well, over here. All this might have to get cut out, but we'll see. But anyway, the next thing I want to talk about is the heat of this place. So, this room gets incredibly hot, incredibly warm, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And to make matters worse, my room is facing the sun, so as soon as the sun comes up, I'm getting the full blast of it, and it's absolutely killing me. It's cooking me alive, practically. And during heat waves, it's impossible to do anything. So I'm wanting somewhere that's a lot cooler, and if it's still a bit warm, I can just get a mini aircon unit. So even if there's a heat wave, I can still work on stuff even with a heat wave. And if it's still and if it's cold and if it's too cold from the aircon, I can just put a jacket on. It's an easy fix. But yeah, I basically just want to be able to be comfortable in here regardless of the temperature. Um, and yeah, it's just not great. I mean, heat rises. This room is facing the sun. It's absolute torture, and it has been pretty hot over the last few days here in the UK. In fact, it's been record breaking. In fact, I don't. I was talking to Arago about it, and he said that the UK has not been this hot since the 70s, and it's pretty impressive, to be fair. So yeah, wanting somewhere that's a little cooler. Right. Um, okay, the next thing I want to talk about is, give me a second to close the door. Just give me a sec. The next thing I want to talk about is the placement of my bed. Okay, now it's not so much the placement, it's just the things with how I have to arrange it just because of the lack of space in here, which I'll get into at some point, but it's more of when I'm changing my bed, to be fair. So basically, whenever I'm changing my bed, it's a bit of a pain because there's a lot of things in the way, like I have to move, there's a bucket of snacks over there which I have to move, there's usually a box there which I have to move, there's my green screen over there which is pretty heavy. I have to move that over there, and I have to move a whole bunch of stuff out the way just so I can pull my bed out and have full access to it to tuck in the sheet on that side. And I just feel it's a lot more than I just feel it's a bigger workout than what it needs to be, if I'm being honest. It's not, I just want to be able to change my bed without feeling absolutely knackered by the end of it. And again, it is heavy. It is a king size bed, so it's already a challenge as it is. So I don't need extra things to move before that because I'm just dead by the end of it. It's just not great. It's not great at all. So yeah, right. Ah, okay. The next topic I need to talk about is Uh, it's going to be something that I have to record separately and just have Aragor edit it in, so I'll show the clip now. Okay, so the next point I want to talk about is in the laundry room, and what the point is this freaking thing, the fire extinguisher. So, if you notice, it's a little bit too close to the dryer. So that means whenever I'm doing my laundry and well, not so much for washing, just for drying, but whenever I'm loading things into the dryer or taking things out of the dryer, I've got this thing right by my head, and it's not happened yet. But I swear it's just a little too close. Like, there's the extinguisher and there's the dryer, and when I'm right here, like my head is right here, and look how close that is to my head. Like that's way too close. I mean, luckily it's not happened yet as long as I've been here, but um, I think one day someone's gonna have a nasty accident in here. I really do. Like, it's ridiculous. And the thing is, I spoke to people. I spoke to the people in charge. I spoke to all of them, and they said that there is nowhere else they can put it. So that's the best place for it. I mean, there's got to be some place you can put it where you could still. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but I just don't think that's the place. I don't think that's the best place for it because, everyone seems so conscious about hazards and fire hazards and safety hazards and all that kind of stuff. They do everything to try and minimize risks. Yet there's a safety risk right here. I mean, seriously. I mean, again, it's not happened yet. We've all been very careful, but I swear, one of these days, someone's going to have a nasty accident. Yep, gonna happen one of these days. Someone's gonna stand up too quickly and bash their head on that bloody extinguisher, and then they're gonna be in A&E just for doing their washing. So yeah, not great, is it really? I mean, again, I spoke to them, but they said there really is nowhere else to put it. I mean, there's got to be somewhere, but yeah, I just don't. I do think someone's gonna have a nasty accident here one of these days, sooner or later. Oh well, at least it won't be me since I'm moving, but I do feel for everyone else though. Okay, next. And we're back. Okay, so the next thing I want to show is next thing I want to talk about is oh yeah, the rules. There are a few too many rules here. Yeah, a few too many rules here if I'm being honest. I mean, firstly, okay, everywhere I'm not saying rules are bad, everywhere needs at least some rules. That's the basic foundation of everything. Everywhere needs at least some rules, but I feel this place has a few too many rules. Now, now they have some sensible rules, obviously, but there are some very like questionable rules. For example, um, if you remember in one of my previous videos showing like an office tour of this place, I did have recording lights and recording signs on my door, but I've had to take that off recently. All these rules didn't exist when I first came here. They got introduced later on, and it's a big pain. So we're not allowed posters and stuff on our doors anymore because it's a fire hazard, even though it's not. Okay, another rule which has been changed back. So basically, we weren't allowed to use. Another rule is we weren't allowed to use the radiators to dry our laundry, which is very questionable since that's their other purpose aside from heating the building. Their other purpose is to dry laundry because, I mean, what else can you do? Not everything can go in the dryer. Errors don't always work and leave your clothes smelling a little funky after it. You can't hang things out to dry because, well, I live in Britain, and in case you didn't know, it rains a lot in Britain, like a lot, so you can't trust the weather. Dryers don't, not everything, not everything can go on the dryer. Errors don't always work, so what else can you do? You have to use a radiator, and it's a really big problem because again, you can't trust British weather. It's stupid, which thankfully that has been changed back. Thankfully, so it's again, but it's something I wanted to mention. And the last rule here, which goes to my next point, is visitors can only visit during visiting hours. Okay, so this is another deal breaker for me. So alongside the noise, this is the second biggest reason I'm wanting to move because okay, so when I first came here back in 2013, I was allowed my friends round whenever I wanted, as long as I wanted, as long as they were gone by the time the staff go off shift at 11 p.m., which is completely fair enough. And as you all know, pandemic. A lot of places weren't allowing guests because of the pandemic measures. Um, Now, if this whole thing, like visiting hours, if that was just a temporary measure because of the pandemic, I would understand. But from what I've heard, they don't plan to change that anytime soon, even though COVID's practically not a big deal anymore. Like, yeah, it's still around. Some people still wear masks, but honestly, COVID's not a big issue anymore, and a lot of places are opening up to visitors and stuff again. So it's very, very questionable as to why nothing's been done. I mean, and I did speak to a lot. I did actually have a little bit of a rant about this with my friends at work, and they agreed that it's it's completely out of line. It's ridiculous. Um, so um, yeah, so that means visitors are only allowed round. Well, they're not allowed round at all. But when they are allowed, it'll be within visiting hours, which is again visiting hours. That makes it sound like a hospital or prison or something, which sometimes it does feel like prison in here, if I'm being honest. And visiting hours consist of 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. and then 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. And that's that's no time at all. By the time that's no time at all because by the time you set anything up, like by the time you set up a game or an anime or something, by the time you set up, it's time for them to go again, and it's pitiful, and you know it's been tough with the pandemic and all that. I really need my friends right now. It's so this is another deal breaker for me and why I'm moving. The second reason why I'm moving, the big reason why I'm moving, just so I can have friends around whenever I like. So yeah, it's been a depressing couple of years for me because of that. So I'm just glad that the place where I'm going does allow visitors and even sleepovers if I want. Yeah, but the past couple of years has been pretty depressing for me. Right. The next thing I want to talk about is where is it? Oh right, workman, workman. Right. Gotcha. Okay, so this is a little annoying. um, so sometimes sometimes workmen will show up out of the blue with no prior or with no or prior like with little or no prior warning beforehand. Now, stuff like this, I would like a little warning beforehand, like maybe a few days in advance or a week advance, so I can prepare. But okay, so I had no warning about this. So this happened like about a week, like just last week, I think, probably. Okay, so I usually wake up at 11 a.m. usually, but one Friday morning I got up a little earlier than usual, about 6 or 7ish, and I started doing stuff on my computer, just minding my own business for a bit. When I suddenly heard my flat intercom ring, and I was not expecting anyone, especially not that early in the morning. Um, about like 6 hours before my alarm was meant to go off. And it was only a bloody electrician that came to check my flat, um, which would have left me without power for 2 hours. And again, I had no warning of this at all. I mean, if it had been planned in advance, if it had been planned to when I would be out, then fair enough. But this happened right on the spot, and I had to rearrange. I had to tell him to come back when I would be out all day. So um, honestly, it's a good thing I was already up. Otherwise, I'd be in a really, really bad mood. So yeah, it's a good thing I was already up. Otherwise, that could have went a lot worse. Okay, so let's see. Let me change here so I can see my notes. Um, okay, the next thing I want to discuss here is okay. So this is something else, but I'm going to have to record separately and have Aragor edit it in later. So I will let you watch that clip. Okay, so here we are in the lounge slash kitchen type area, and there's a few things I need to talk about here. So, firstly, the next thing I want to show, which I hate about this building, is the stupid bloody plastic conservatory roof. I hate this thing. I hate it with a passion because it's again it's just too loud because so basically it's not glass. It's just very cheap plastic, and whenever it rains it sounds like it's hailing, and if it sounds like it's hailing when it's raining, then you can only imagine what it sounds like when it's actually hailing. So whenever it rains it absolutely pours, and again it rains a lot in Britain, and you can really hear it. You can really hear just proper tapping away at the plastic, and if you're trying to watch the TV, it's impossible to hear what's going on. Like, obviously, you've got to turn the volume up a little louder than what you're meant to. You can see we have a rule about how loud you're meant to have the volume up past a certain time, and if you're trying to watch the TV at night when it's raining, it's it's just impossible. It's plastic. It's terrible. I hate it, and they won't do anything about it either. So that's I'd say one of the biggest reasons why I don't come down here much, unless like I don't usually come down the lounge. I don't usually come down here unless I absolutely have to make food or whatever. So yeah, I hate this thing. I've always hated it ever since I came here. Okay, another thing to talk about is if we go out if we go out here outside, I hate this ramp, this little step right here. I swear to God, in the last in the last few years, I have tripped or nearly tripped on this. Um, I think uh, almost every time in the last few years, and it's way too much. I mean, luckily I've not tripped and actually hurt myself at all, but you know, tripping's not fun, and you know, there's been times when I've forgotten it's even there, and I've tripped, and just because I've forgotten it's there, and it's again, I hate it. I hate that. I hate that. It just sucks. Um, and it probably doesn't even need to be there because, you know, I mean, come on, there's got to be something better you can do than that. But yeah, okay. Next thing to talk about here is so the kitchen and living room area, but mostly the kitchen. Um, usually looks like a permanent bomb site. Now, it might look alright now. This is it on a good day, but what I'm talking about is mainly, well, a task. So imagine this. Imagine, say, I come down to do a task, like say I, um, I clean I clean the counters, I clean the microwave, I mop the floor, I sweep the floor. It's all nice, it's all clean and all that. And then say I come back like maybe half an hour later or an hour later for a cup of tea, and it's absolutely trashed again. Like there's all stains on the counter. There's sugar and coffee spilled on the counter. The floor's all messy and sticky again. Like literally just an hour or half an hour, just because of inconsiderate housemates that don't clean up after themselves. Don't clean up after themselves after they've made a mess, which basically makes all of my hard work pointless. You know, it's just very inconsiderate. And not only that, things have gone missing in here. Like there's been times when I've came down here to do something where I've needed scissors, and the scissors have went missing. There's a few other things that went missing. A few stuff of my own. Like I've lost mugs. I've lost cups. I've lost chopsticks. I've lost quite a few things. Scissors. Some have gotten back. Some I haven't. Some I've had to replace. And it's not great. And again, people just being inconsiderate and not thinking, I should probably clean up after myself. But no, you had to go and make all my hard work pointless. Again, I might be a little bit nitpicky, but well, oh well. Still, it's annoying, and it's just something I want to quickly get off my chest before I go. But I'd say the biggest issue, like, yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, oh, that's a problem with the inconsiderate housemates and things going missing and stuff. But I'd say the biggest annoyance really is probably between that step and the conservatory roof, because we don't really need it. We could just have a regular roof, and it would fix a lot of problems. But it's, yeah, if you're trying to watch the TV when it's raining, it's just way too loud. Okay, moving on. And we're back. Okay, so the next thing I want to discuss here is okay, so things taking too long to get anything done. So, do I still have it in here? No, I do not. Oh well. So, yeah, sometimes it takes a really long time for anything to get done around here. Let me give you examples. Um, so basically, one time the dishwasher broke, and there's a total of eight. Like, there can be a total of 8 tenants here. So we kind of need the dishwasher here with how many of us there are. Anyway, the dishwasher broke one day, and it took absolute ages for it to get replaced or for anything to get done about it. Like, waiting like about what, 6 to 8 months, I want to say, if I remember correctly, almost a full year, I think, almost. Very very close at least. And it took a long time for it to get replaced at all. And when it did finally get replaced, it wasn't even the one we asked for. We put it to a vote, and it wasn't the one we voted for, or any of the other options either. It was just something completely different. And usually, when we get replacement items, it's usually the cheap and nasty option most of the time. So honestly, when stuff like that happens, it makes you it makes you wonder, can you even trust the people in charge if stuff like that's going to happen? It's just, disgraceful. What's the point on voting for something if you're not even going to listen to us? It's double standards, isn't it? It's just, why, do that? Um, Okay, so next point I want to talk about is I've already discussed this at the start of the video, but it's the walls. So again, the walls are way too thin here. Like if I quickly turn the camera around, but yeah, the walls are paper thin here. It's ridiculous. Like there's absolutely no soundproofing at all. Like it's just very very thin drywall, paper thin. You can hear anything that comes through it, and most of the time you will hear everything, which is what I've had to put up with. Now, again, going back to what I was saying a little while ago at the start of this video. Recently, someone moved in next door, just opposite me, and again, this wouldn't be an issue, but she's deaf and she's not been taught. Um, she, she's not been taught how to control her volume in any way, shape, or form, and I can hear everything. So when I'm trying to record, I'll just hear yelling and shouting and just all this noise, which is honestly, I'm very lucky that I can record this now. I've been waiting. I would record. I would record this earlier, but I had to wait till she went to bed, and it's ridiculous. So I hear yelling, shouting, and I've been putting up with this for like 12 months now, almost. Um, yeah, and it's all day, all night, yelling non-stop. In fact, I've recorded a clip. I've recorded a clip of just how bad it is. I will have Aragorn edit that in. Just I wanted you guys to have a little idea um, of what I'm dealing with, because I have talked about this in the past, and I did have to clear it up in the comments that it wasn't a hate attack on them or anything, but I just want to give you a little perspective of what I've had to put up with for the last 12 months, all day, all night, every day. So I can't record, I can't focus, I can't sleep, I can't do anything. Like, honestly, I've had to go to my friends just to get some peace and quiet. And again, it's very lucky that it's quiet now. This is what it used to be like here, but it's like peace and quiet doesn't exist here anymore. You know, it's very very sucky. But yeah, I will have Aragorn put in that clip now just to give you an idea of what I've had to put up with, and yeah. I've talked about this in vlogs before, but yeah, this is what I've had to put up with. So have a little listen. Yeah, pretty bad, huh? Yeah, it's like that all the time here. See why I've got to leave? See why I have to move now? Like it's getting ridiculous, and you know again, my mental health is starting to take a downward spiral. So again, I don't have a choice but to move. The staff have said that they're looking into getting a room soundproofed, but so far nothing has been done about it, and I don't know how much more I can take. I'm just, you know, I'm losing my patience. You know, I'd like to think I'm a very, very patient person, but there's only so much I can take. And I think I've, you know, I'm at my wits' end here. So it's about time that I went, I think. Right. Okay, the next thing I want to show here is this. Okay, so this room is way too bright. So let me show you a few things here. So, okay, so if you look around my room, if you look around, you can see that there's a lot of light in here, that has to be on at all times. So there's like, there's my there's my clock over there. There's my clock, my TV, all my setup. The lights on my setup over here, and they're on all the time. Um, there's lights on. There's lights there. Um, there's lights back there on like there's lights absolutely everywhere, and it's just way too bright when I'm trying to sleep. And again, I sleep with one of these just because it's too bright and I can't sleep otherwise. It's just, I mean, again, I could turn all these lights off, but it would just make um, the recording setup process a lot longer than what it needs to be, and I'd rather minimize that. So there's all them lights there, my clock, my setup, everything. Sometimes if I have to leave my computer on overnight to upload a video or something, there'll be the lights on my keyboard, the lights on my mouse, the lights on my computer, the lights on my hub, on my USB hub, the lights on my hard drive will flash. There's just way too much light in here. It's difficult to sleep. So again, I sleep with a eye mask, and let me give you an idea of what it's like. Let me turn up the lights, and yeah, so there's lights there, which is shining directly into my eyes because my bed's just over there, and it's shining directly into me. There is my mouse, my clock, the lights on over there, and my blue lights on my recording setup, my TV, and my microphone, and sometimes on my consoles if I'm currently doing a let's play of a PS2 or PS3 game, the standby lights will be on. There's probably some other lights that I'm forgetting, like maybe charger lights on stuff. But yeah, there's just way too much light in here during the night when I'm trying to sleep, and obviously moving will fix that because then I can separate my recording stuff from my bedroom, so it won't be as bright. There'll still be some light, obviously, from my clock, but it won't be as bad as what it is now. So yeah, just way too much light. Okay, let's see. Um, okay, another thing is, I don't know why I bothered to turn that round because I have to flip it around again. Okay, the next thing to show here is, I have a little bit too much stuff in here to keep all in one space. Now, as you can see, it is kind of messy since I am in the middle of moving, so I've got storage boxes up here and storage boxes here ready for moving, but usually, like before, I would have stuff like there, like snacky stuff there, up there, and just a lot of stuff that's best kept in the kitchen, which I can't do here too much. I do that a little bit, but if I do it too much, then obviously I might be accused of overtaking the kitchen, which I don't really want. It's just, it's a bigger pain than it needs to be. So it's again salt, a whole bunch of other stuff, tea, coffee stuff up there, so just general too much. Like there would have been like my bowls and my chopsticks in one of those drawers. Is my collection of drinks down here and there. So again, just generally a whole lot of stuff that's just best kept in different rooms, and it's just too much to keep all in one space. And obviously moving will fix that as well. Um, yeah, and on the same topic, the last thing I wanted, the last point I have here is, now, this is one of the bigger rooms in this place. Like, I think this is like the second biggest room. Um, and I mean, I make do with it. Don't get me wrong. I do make do with what I've had for the last few years. But it's it's despite being one of the bigger rooms, I still feel it's a little bit too small. It's a bit of a small room. Like this is all it is. Like it's literally you come in here and then just yeah, it's just way too small. I mean, look at this setup. This is my setup for when I'm doing console face cam stuff. So when I'm doing console let's plays with face cam, I put my table there, my laptop there, webcam facing me directly there, so I can have the camera facing me while looking at the screen there, and look at the space I have to deal with here. Like seriously, like look here. There's a microphone, and there's the table, and there's only just enough space for me to maneuver here. Like seriously, it's only just enough space for me to get by. I have put a little bit of weight on over the pandemic, but it's yeah, it's not great. Um, hmm, but yeah, just bigger space, which I am getting in my new place. Oh god, honestly, it's so exciting. Like the last few days, all I've really been doing is going like just uh, taking stuff over and just sorting things out for my new place, and it's just so exciting. I've just been going over there the last couple of days for a week now, I think, and it's looking really good. I'm so excited. And I move in like, I think from now, I think I move in about maybe what? Hang on, 7 days, I think. As of recording this, I move on the 31st of July. Let me quickly check. Oh, it's not going to let me do it, is it? Hang on. Let me check my phone. Okay, so I move on the 31st, and it's currently the 23rd, so I've got about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly about 7 days left before I move. And I've still got time. I'm thinking of arranging a leaving party before I go, like a leaving meal or something. Before I go, and that should be fun. But oh god, it's so exciting. I mean, again, this is a nice place. I don't want to knock it. It is a really nice place, and I've lived here for a few years, and it's very cozy. I do like it. I am gonna miss it, but again, I want to be able I want to be able to I want to be able to I want to be able to record in peace whenever I want. I want to be able to get a good night's sleep whenever I want. I want to be able to do my laundry without risking concussion. I want to be able to change my bed without all this extra work. I want to be able to just be comfortable and not bake in the heat. You know, there's a lot of issues here that will be fixed in this new place. And again, I also want to be able to sleep with not too much light in my face. Yeah, it's just. I mean, again, it's still a nice. It's a nice place here, but I just think it's time. I just really think it's time. So, anyway, this probably kind of goes without saying, but because I'm moving so close, to the time, and basically because of that, obviously, I'm gonna have to put my YouTube stuff on hold for a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to put since I'm moving, I'm gonna have to put my YouTube stuff on hold for a little bit. So that means the weekly reports are going to go on hold for a bit, just because obviously I need to move and I need to get settled in, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. But once everything's all set up, and we will resume that as well, and it's quite handy because I'm closer to Arago. I can just walk to his. And also there's tons and tons of stuff, like there's like free shops, like there's a Go Local, which is your typical corner shop. There's a Tesco Express near me, and there's an Aldi a bit further along. There's a Chippy near me. There's absolutely tons near me. So I'm just so excited. I know I don't sound too excited, but again, it's late at night and I am having to be a little careful with that. So um, yeah, it's so I'm gonna call it a night here. Try and get this video as soon as I can. I'm seeing Arago on Sunday, so I can get this edited and hopefully we can get it out in time for the moving. So I'm gonna have to put YouTube on hold for a little while, just while things are happening. I might still post little updates on Discord and maybe little shorts on YouTube, just give you little updates maybe. But since I can upload videos from my phone now, I found. So I might. So obviously I'll probably update Discord from time to time. I'll update my YouTube on occasion, maybe. Just to give you a little reminder that I am moving and I need a little bit of time to get sorted. But yeah, it's all very exciting stuff, and I can't wait to do the first video in there. So anyway, that is going to about do it for this video. As always, you know the drill. And I will see you guys in the next video, in the first video in my next place, because this is also going to be the last video for a while, and the last video in this place. So this is the last chronological video. Like there might be the occasional clips in upcoming videos of this place, like from things that were recorded before, and obviously there's the YouTube plugs video, which will need updating into the new, in the new place. But other than that, this is going to be the last chronological video in this place. And all that said, I will see you guys in the next video in my new place. Until then, have a good day, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, ring the notification bell, check the sub box, check the channel regularly, join my Discord server, and check out the links below.